Hello, Seahawks. Anything on?
We interrupt this broadcast for an important message from our principal, Mr. Breedy.
Hey Seahawks, Anthony Breedy, your proud principal. Quick message. As we head into not only the fourth quarter, things really haven't changed as far as following up about how to support each other on campus and create a safer environment here at Redondo. And first and foremost, you see something, you say something. Something's happening on social media through text messages, something that might be swirling that's going to create some unsafe situation. And that could be here on campus, that can be after school. Please let us be aware so we can help any student that might be in need. I would hate for anybody to get hurt or anybody to feel uncomfortable based on knowledge that you might have that we could have been proactive together in supporting a student either in crisis or a student in need. So let's just be very, very clear here. Fighting is not going to be tolerated here at Redondo Union High School. There are large consequences that are in place, not only with the consequences such as suspension or expulsion, but also citation from RBPD and or ruining what you potentially have in your future. So please, if you feel that you need to settle differences, there's always a different way that you can go about it without having an altercation. Please reach out to us. Please reach out to your counselors. Please send us a Sprigio report. Talk to your teachers. This is highly important for the success of all of us here at Redondo Union High School. If you see something, please say something. All right, Seahawks, thank you for listening. Have a great day.
This week on RUTV, we open with a special segment on César Chavez.
Then we head on over to sports for our weekly update.
Finally, we see the glorious return of everyone's favorite segment, Are You Smarter Than a Freshman?
So don't look away, because it all starts right now on RUTV.
Good morning, Seahawks. Today is Friday, April 5th. I'm Ty Berhart.
And I'm Addison Miller. Last Friday, the Spanish Honor Society hosted a fundraiser in honor of César Chavez Day, which was last Sunday, March 31st. Let's go to the Student Union to see how that went.
At first glance, you might not recognize the man on this poster. This man is none other than César Chavez, a Mexican-American labor leader and civil rights activist who fought to raise pay and improve working conditions for oppressed farm workers and their families.
He was a person that always wanted what was best for everyone, equal rights for every single person.
In 1962, Chavez formed the first successful farm workers union in American history, known as the National Farm Workers Association. This union sought to protect the basic rights of agricultural workers.
I think a lot of people see César Chavez and they follow in his footsteps and just advocating for change in all areas.
And we all strive to make change like he made change.
One of the most famous boycotts César Chavez joined was the 1965 Delano grape strike, where Californian farm workers boycotted California grapes in order to improve working conditions and raise wages. The strike lasted 5 years, with farm workers finally being granted better wages, benefits, and living conditions.
What he really stood for was kind of, I suppose you could even say, like the American ideal of equality, right? These people weren't just going to have their rights taken away because of who they were. They're going to be disrespected. They deserve dignity that every American deserves, right?
In honor of César Chavez's activism, the Hispanic Honor Society held a fundraiser last Friday, where they sold traditional Latin American candy, snacks, and aguas frescas.
Thank you. I'm very proud of my students. They are doing a fundraising to honor César Chavez and to give back to that community.
We just really want to promote our culture on campus and make sure we're seen, and we want to bring a positive light to the Latino and Hispanic heritage.
Plainly, I'd just like to say thank you so much for participating and just learning a little more about César Chavez, because it really is an important message for everybody to learn about what he stands for.
The Hispanic Honor Society meets every Monday at lunch in room 405 and is open to any students who are currently enrolled in or have completed RUHS's AP Spanish course. As César Chavez always said, "Si se puede!" Si se puede. Reporting, Anthony Leone.
Thanks, Anthony. You know, Addison, it's so important to highlight special days and people who worked to change the world.
Yeah, I agree. And speaking of special days, let's take a look at this past week for our soaring athletes.
Welcome back to RUTV Sports. I'm Olive Rowe.
And I'm Kat Wong.
Boys lacrosse faced off against PV in another tough game. They battled all the way through with both teams getting very physical, but fell short, losing 5-4. But they came back with a win against Penn in another intense game. Penn tied up the score 9-9 with 33 seconds left, putting the boys into overtime. But in their first period of overtime, senior Colin Kelly scored the game-winning goal and secured the win for Redondo.
Our boys came back from break in a home game against Costa, Wednesday, April 17th at 6 p.m., so make sure to show up and support.
Girls lacrosse also played PV, where they came out on top with another dominating win, 17-11. Junior Caitlin Kelly had a great game, scoring 4 goals alongside sophomore Kate Kenny, who scored 6 goals and earned Player of the Game. The girls also faced off against rivals Mira Costa in an unfortunate loss, 8-11.
Baseball played Culver City in 2 great games. They lost the first game 2-1, but just 2 days later, they came back and beat them 3-2. Senior Sunny Hurtado hit a 2-run home run in the 8th inning, and seniors Evan Moyer and Madden MacArthur pitched shutout games. Congratulations on this outstanding performance.
Boys volleyball swept Culver City in just 3 sets. They went on to face off Newport Harbor and unfortunately lost the first 2 sets just 23-25. In the third, they came back and won, but in the fourth, they were unable to keep the momentum and lost. Good luck on your upcoming game in Hawaii.
Softball dominated against Culver, winning 15-0. Senior Mimi Smith went 3 for 4, hitting a home run in the 3rd inning, and junior Bailey Murray pitched once again another shutout. They also faced off against Penn with another shutout, 14-0. Great job, girls, and keep it up.
Last weekend at the Trabuco Hills Invitational, our Seahawks ran on both Friday and Saturday. On Friday night, we had a standout performance from junior Alexander Barbary, winning the 1600-meter Invitational with a time of 4:17, and Kyle Nguyen right behind in third with a time of 4:18. Alex now has the 3rd fastest junior time in school history.
Then on Saturday, in the pouring rain, Artem Fazeli won the varsity long jump, jumping 20 feet 5 inches. Mia Coleman placed second in the 100-meter with an outstanding time of 12.41, and Camilla Brennan came out with another win in the pole vault, vaulting 2 feet higher than second place. They compete at one of the biggest meets in the country this weekend, the Arcadia Invitational. Be sure to wish our runners good luck.
That's all for this week.
We hope you have a restful spring break, and go Seahawks!
Wow, isn't it so fun to see our student athletes representing the school?
You're so right, Ty. We have so many outstanding Seahawks on campus, and it's so fun being able to highlight all of them.
Speaking of our outstanding Seahawks, hey Addison, do you remember one of those old segments, Are You Smarter Than a Freshman?
Oh, of course I do. That was always everyone's favorite. You know, I remember laughing so hard at every answers our Seahawks gave. So let's head on over to the thing.
What the heck?
Good morning, Seahawks. I'm Clark Good.
And I'm Isla Rogers.
Welcome, everyone, to this year's April Fool's broadcast, which they somehow let me anchor on 2 years in a row. Can you believe it, Isla?
Not in the slightest, but that's what happens when we use a random number generator to pick our anchors.
Not when it's rigged and all the answers are my name.
Speaking of things rigged, let's head on over to Luca Richardson to hear more about the upcoming presidential election in this week's edition of Current Events.
Thanks, guys. Last week we found out
Excuse me. Last week, Mr. Breedy surprised announced his 2024 presidential campaign running against the incumbent Joe Biden. His reception has been positive as an independent political outsider. Republican candidate, former President Donald Trump, sang his praises, stating, "Mr. Breedy is just a wonderful man, a man of the people, a great man, one of the best. Please buy my Bibles." Democratic candidate Joe Biden commented, "I knew Mr. Breedy's parents back in 1952. Just wonderful people. I wish him and his campaign the best. Who are you again? I know who I'm voting for. Good luck, Mr. Breedy." In other news, our beloved Uncrustables, served faithfully every day by our wonderful cafeteria staff, have been found to give some students superpowers. Around campus, students have been seen flying through the halls without passes and using invisibility to get their phones from the phone pockets. Parent company of Uncrustables, the Jam Smucker Company, said in a press release, "We continue to strive to provide students with the most nutritious and nourishing meals every day. We take this matter very seriously and will be contacting Vought Corporation for guidance." This is Luca Richardson reporting for Current Events.
Wow, I sure love to see a principal active in their community, especially if that community is the entire United States.
Truly an inspiration to young and aspiring principals all around the world.
Speaking of inspirations, let's head on over to Pop Corner and address some recent news on some iconic women.
Hey Seahawks, I'm Kendall, and welcome back to Pop Corner. We're only a few days into April, and already so much has happened in the world of entertainment. Let me call you back really quick, I'm filming.
Sorry about that. As I was saying, a lot has happened in the world of entertainment, with one particular piece of information shocking audiences and devastating fans around the world. On Thursday, March 28, 2024, Gypsy Rose Blanchard announced that she will be separating from her husband, Ryan Anderson, in a post that has left social media users very distraught. Married in July of 2022, Blanchard was in her #LoverGirl era, but after her release from prison just 3 months ago, it seems her sudden rise to stardom has left Blanchard vulnerable to one of Hollywood's most infamous rites of passage. That's right, Pete Davidson and Gypsy Rose Blanchard are dating. Sources close to the new couple suggest that their affair was the final push needed to encourage Blanchard to leave her husband, as the fire between them has apparently burnt out. In other increasingly important news, global superstar and dance mom legend JoJo Siwa has gone bad. Her reputation era is upon us with the announcement of her new song Karma, released today, April 5th. Her incredible dancing and angelic voice have garnered international appreciation. Chiefs quarterback Travis Kelce said, "Oh my God, I feel like a girl boss. BRB breaking up with Taylor." Siwa also captured the attention of the Pulitzer Prize Board, who are already in talks of giving Siwa the Music Prize, which was famously given to Kendrick Lamar in 2018. What do you all think? Is Karma an instant classic? Pop on over to Adonyadin TV on Instagram and let us know. This has been Pop Corner. I'm Kendall Keenan, and we'll see you next time.
Well, if that's all it takes to be a famous singer, then maybe I should try it.
You know, I've never heard you sing before. You should try singing right now.
No, I don't really do so well on camera, but for all you seniors out there, there's an opportunity for you to live out your JoJo Siwa dreams and sing your heart out at graduation, performing the national anthem in front of all your SEAC peers. If interested, email Dr. Erskine at ierskine@rbsd.org or stop by the choir room for more information.
Maybe singing isn't your thing, but for all you writers, artists, and photographers, the start of spring break signals the closing of submissions for the RUHS Pen Pointers literary magazine, The Compass. The theme this time around is nostalgia, so if you'd like to see your work featured by the school, send all the submissions through the link in your email for guidelines and more.
Well, Seahawks, that's all for this week's broadcast. I'm Clark Good.
And I'm Isla Rogers. We won't see you for a week, but make sure to have a wonderful spring break, and remember to keep on soaring, Seahawks.
Let's head on over to
What the heck? What? Wait, that actually was not the big one. I saw Alistair at the corner of my eye.
Oh my God, I just felt their presence. Good job, guys!
It's my impression of Luca.
Okay, this is why I don't make
what is
green
Alec
anchor,
talking
guys,
about?
so.
Do we have B-roll?
My cheekbones hurt.
Mr. President, you're getting a bit quirky.
Oh.
Mr. President, I'm getting quirky. Mr. President, that's a bit too silly.
To go back like 5 seconds.
Stop it before. Okay.
Good morning, Seahawks. I am Seahawks. And the morning. And good. Clark Good. Clark Good. Clark Good morning. Clark Good morning, Seahawks. I'm Clark Good.